you guys know there's a group of guys out there who's completely given up on women? And no, I'm not talking about gay guys. Those guys are kinks. I'm talking about this group called MGTOW. MGTOW. These dudes are like the evolved versions of those guys who are like, oh, nice guys finish last, you know? Those memes, and like they claim to be better than incels. Like they rag on incels all the time, like, no, we're better than them. I was watching this one MGTOW channel and the dude goes, no, we're not like those degenerates that wallow in self-pity. We don't care about women at all. I really wish I could like take these videos and like send it to their moms or like sisters and just try to get their input, like, oh, this is what your son is saying. I'm sure that's gonna be a really awkward conversation for them. Or not, maybe they'd be like, well, mom, this is actually a movement I really care about. As dumb as that sounds. Okay, so what is MGTOW exactly, you're probably thinking? It's an acronym, MGTOW, right? And it stands for men going their own way. Yeah, their own way towards the incel subreddits, am I right? Boo! It seems like most of these guys view not just like women, but relationships as this sort of transaction.
So you get on the dating app, I know my worth, all right? And you think you're about to get out there and just, you know, put a couple of pictures out there, lazy effort, get on a free dating app at that. Don't even invest in potentially seeking out the best potential partners.
Do you hear like the disgust and disdain for women on Tinder he has? He's like, how dare you use a free dating app? Like, bruh, what are you supposed to do? Sign up for Tinder Gold? That shit's like $20 a month. Fuck that. It's like he only swipes right on girls who have like professionally shot pictures. Fuck, that's expensive too, dude. Fuck off.
A lot of you guys think that you're the top quality. You're like, there can't be nobody better than me. And here you are, shaped like a busted Pillsbury biscuit can, all right? That's what you're shaped like. And you're like, well, I'm the best. I know my worth. I'm good. I got a degree. All right, I got more degrees than a thermometer. I got a job. Nope. You're just another piece of peace leave out there, all right?
Gross, misshapen bodies!
So is there something wrong with women having confidence? You know, like, you can be whatever shape and size there is, you know, but you can still act like a bad bitch. It doesn't really matter. As long as you have that attitude, you can be whatever the fuck you want to be, dude. I think he's saying that if you're not built like Ariana Grande, you need to only go after like frumpy dumpy incels because fair is fair, am I right? Like, what kind of logic is that?
If you really want to accept this, and this is what women really don't do, they really don't accept these realities. If you really want to accept what's happening here, this is a game of Mother Nature versus Father Time. Mother Nature gave you everything that you needed to do to attract the best possible mate at the best possible time of your life in order for you to procreate with them.
That seems to be like a common thing about these second evolution incels. They feel like they have power over women because like women are on this clock. Like this guy specifically brings up Father Time a lot, basically meaning like, hey bitch, you're not gonna be pretty forever, so why don't you just settle for me, the pudgy little basement dweller that I am. Trust me, once you get out of college and like that metabolism starts to slow down, you're gonna start plumping up too, bud. And not just in your gut, but like your face, your neck, you know. Aging is an awful thing.
What you gave you, Father Time has taken away. And you do still have a piece of peace leave in between your legs that people will play around with. They'll practice with it. They'll allow you to do all kind of dirty and dastardly things to them. However, that's what you are, your practice.
Imagine getting to this age and viewing women as like practice. This screams to me that this dude hasn't spent much time outside of like incel subreddits. I mean, what is this guy, like mid-40s? Like, look at the salt and pepper in his beard. He's clearly older, way too old to be thinking like this. What has to happen to a person to make them this delusional? And seeing how this video almost has like 70k views and a very healthy like to dislike video or ratio, this has to be like how most, if not all, MGTOWs see women, you know?
Now I'm gonna give you an example here. That girl from that movie, whatever that Precious movie was, she got a guy to propose. And I'm gonna put a clip of them celebrating their proposal.
I put a ring on it.
That's it. That's all we wanted to say.
We're engaged.
And here's the deal. Look at the type of guy we're talking about here.
No, okay, let's look at you. Who are you to judge? On your fucking $200 gaming chair with your light up keyboard, a guitar in the background that you pluck a couple notes out of once in a blue moon. If he was watching this, I'm sure he'd have like 50 things to say. But that's how like assumptions and judgment works, dude. If you want to look at things through like a skewed lens, then don't go flailing your arms in self-defense when it comes back to you.
What? I'm not being judgmental. I'm making a judgment. There's a huge difference.
I mean, just look at this guy. Come on, man. He doesn't have a masculine bone in his body.
Yeah, I'm sure you've taken tons of masculine bones into your body, bud. Boo! And this is why I hope you guys aren't taking a ton of pity on this dude when I like dunk on him. His zero respect for women or anyone who's not a man's man or just a woman in general, you know?
But yet, a lot of older women will come in here. I got married. It didn't happen for me. That's your guy right there. That's him. All right. That's the guy you're bragging about. That's the guy you're telling me that you succeeded with. Man, let me tell you something. You lost. You lost this game. You do have a male in your bed, but you don't got a man.
I guarantee you this man-child never thinks about what a woman might actually want. Like, sure, a dude might be a little too chubby or too skinny, but I promise whoever he's referring to here has a much higher level of intelligence than him. Like, this dude behind her is probably really funny, good with kids. Maybe he's just really fun to be around. Some people have that effect. It's called a charisma, but in this guy's mind, he's the superior one. He's like, I bench 200 pounds, I watch football, women are designed to want me. What a fucking cliche.
All right, and you still gonna be lonely, and every time this guy tries to roll over on your belly and pump and push and shove, all right, you're gonna realize you lost, all right? Because he ain't gonna be blowing out any backs, and he might not be able to roll over on your belly looking at that busted Pillsbury biscuit can. Everything gonna be from behind, apparently.
It's like MGTOWs are afraid of like overweight women. They're surprised that an overweight woman can get into a nice relationship a lot easier than they can. And that kind of goes back to what I was just saying. If you set your standards really high, you're never going to be happy. You're never going to find somebody who wants to be with you because you sound like a psychopath with this checklist of absolutes. I'm not saying you can't have preferences or standards, but the problem that MGTOWs have is that they don't have preferences. They have demands. If you're not this 10 out of 10 girl with your own car, your own job, your own apartment, you're beneath them. When I'm sure in reality, a lot of these guys have had all those things either handed to them or they just don't have them at all.
You can see that Shira7 in this video is not describing MGTOW. She's clearly describing incels. There's a difference.
He's like, there's a difference. Hardly.
Incels seek female validation, while MGTOW couldn't care less.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say, Schizo.
If you couldn't care less, then why start an entire movement? It seems like you care at least a little.
This girl thinks of herself as a 5-star restaurant, top sirloin burger. And when men don't know anything about women, they see them that way too. When you look at women after being red-pilled, at best, you see them as McDonald's. And quite a number of them are no better than those elementary school cafeteria burgers.
MGTOWs love to compare women to objects because like that's all they see them as. Also in this he says that you see a drop in quality in terms of women once you're red-pilled. If you don't know what red-pilled is, we'll talk about it in a bit.
Why would I or anybody else sit there and pine over cafeteria food? Now, as I'm walking by, I may take a look in the general direction.
Like, I mean, no shit, you're gonna see somebody as hot as hell, and once you get to know them, you're gonna realize, oh, this guy's actually pretty shallow, or this girl. But that's not like a woman thing, that's just a people thing.
There's also a big difference from feminists and MGTOW. Feminists pride themselves on making themselves weaker so that they can claim victim status and get free stuff.
No, not free stuff. Feminists want equal rights. Feminists want to be paid the same amount as a man when doing the exact same job. MGTOWs seem to play the victim by claiming that women are oppressing men by not having sex with them, or having the nerve to be slightly overweight, or making more money than them by doing a job that pays more than them. You know, they see that as an attack on their manliness.
MGTOW know that no one's going to help us or give us anything, so the only way forward is to make ourselves stronger.
That doesn't sound like a group of people working towards getting stronger. That sounds like a group of people playing the victim, which is what they claim feminists are.
There's a Latin phrase that I'm sure you've all heard before, which translates to, I think, therefore I am. When you hear this in school, probably in your English class, it's taught positively as a, you can be whatever you want to be type of phrase. If you think you are a successful person, you will notice more opportunities for success. If you think you are a failure, then you will miss all of your opportunities to be successful because you aren't paying attention. And with that said, we have the game plan of the radical left. The radical left feeds off the weak, so in order for it to survive, it has to make more people weak. This is how you get nonsense messages like systemic racism.
So here we have red-pilled Shakespeare explaining that racism exists purely because you believe it to be real. Why people aren't staring at you when you're shopping in a nice neighborhood, it's all in your head.
It's the perfect crime! Yeah, tell it to the judge, Pinky.
This is the same shit that Elliot Rodger was thinking when he thought he could win the lottery simply by believing hard enough, because he read that book, like The Dream or The Journey, something like that. I mean, I shouldn't expect one of these guys to understand how hard it is to be a minority. You know, they hate women, so of course they think of POCs as these people that need to man up.
White people have more money than black people. It must be racism. Really? Is everything that's wrong with you always due to things you can't control or people you can't control? Could it be that you don't have as much money as somebody else because you are not as good with money as they are? Nah, that can't be it. It's those racist white women that are holding me back.
Dear white male god, please send down a cleansing fire to rid us of the mud races.
No. Again, it's racist women and men. You do understand that applying to a job with a particularly ethnic name could really lower the chances of you getting hired, right? Black people have always been pushed down, but here you are saying that it's because they don't try hard enough. They don't get better jobs because they don't have the right mindset. That Sigma red-pilled fucking grind set. Man up and become a Chad. He then goes on to talk about how he turned a match around in Super Smash Brothers and how that relates to how people are supposed to challenge themselves. And then some stuff on like small YouTubers not getting big because they're making crappy content. But I think we got what we needed out of that one.
What they really want is a man to listen to their request and challenge them. They're looking for an entertaining social struggle between men and women. That's the end goal. So when a woman wants a creepy man to leave her alone and the only good-looking guys to basically contact her in life, that's not exactly what she wants. She still wants the creepy betas to talk to her so she can pretty much put them in the friend zone and use them financially, emotionally, or in other ways.
There it is, the magic word. He said the friend zone. Because once a person sees you as a friend, that's exactly how it's always going to be. There's no way to change that, and that's a crime. It's hilarious how he thinks women want guys to creep on them as a sort of like power move. I'm 100% sure this is his justification for being a creep. This deep-seated belief that girls like being creeped on. Yeah, like they want some perv eyeballing them 24/7. This is totally fine, because this is how things are supposed to be. Not just in Hollywood, but everywhere.
In theory, feminists that say they want equality between men and women should be ecstatic about men going their own way. Finally, a bunch of men that treat women equally and ignore them like women generally ignore men.
Except that's not true. Things aren't equal. Seeing girls as objects is not equality. So many of these dudes don't understand how or why MGTOW is so toxic and how it quickly can escalate into hostility, you know? Sure, you're not physically hurting anyone, but don't say you see women as equals because you don't. They seem to hate all women because they think they're all like picky, gold-digging bimbos with no education. But like, it goes both ways, bud. Stacy isn't gonna avoid dating you because you don't have six-pack abs. It's because she can smell the hate in you. She can smell that incel beta energy. She knows well in advance that you're gonna be the type to stalk and like harass her after rejecting you, so she just avoids you completely. It's a lot more obvious than you probably think.
So that's why women are calling MGTOWs women haters and shaming us when in fact all we're interested in is self-preservation. Women will never be supportive of us going our own way because we're their meal ticket. Without us, civilization crumbles and they lose everything. But they can't admit to this because if they did, then we'd really see them for what they truly are. Children pretending to be adults. Just because you put on a pair of pants does not make you a man, honey.
And that seems to be what a lot of men won't admit, that women aren't in high positions of power, not because they're unqualified, but because men were there before them and just won't let them through. As a man, how could you even think you know what a woman is going through?
For the longest time, you weren't even allowed to wear pants, yet now you actually want men in skirts chopping our balls off using the transgendered bathrooms.
Oh, and he's scared of transgendered people too. God, like, how many fears do these guys have so far? So no overweight women, no women who can't support themselves financially, no women who can't bench press more than them, and no transgenders. MGTOWs are stuck in this mindset that women can't be more than how they were perceived in like the 1920s. They really don't want us as a society to advance if it means giving women more power, because they're afraid that it'll lead to men somehow becoming obsolete.
If women weren't allowed into the workforce like was the case before the 20th century, then lesbians would disappear in a heartbeat, because they would all be looking for men to marry to provide for them. They would be more worried about their lifestyles with regards to money instead of their sexuality. Sex would be the last thing on their minds.
Okay, so if that was the case, then men being married to other men would be more perfect, right? Because you have two strong dudes pooling their wealth together and making things work, right? Just two bros, married, living in double the Sigma mindset, grind set power. So what he's saying is that lesbian women would cease to be lesbian if they had to rely on men for income. Guys, I think this is a huge roundabout way of MGTOWs saying that gay is truly the only way.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Just two bros chilling, that's all it is.
I mean, it's fine if that's who you are.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have many gay friends.
My father's gay.
This kind of further proves that these guys want nothing more than to just go back to the 20th century, back when women didn't have the same rights that they have today. For all we know, they might even look at segregation as like a positive thing as well. And that's really the problem with these guys. Men and women can never be equal in their minds. They think women will never be as strong and independent as men because of their vaginas. They think the best they can do is sell their bodies to make a living. With this mindset on women, what's to stop them from hating people of other races? Not just women, but black women, Mexican women. These guys are on a fast track to thinking not just one gender, but one race is superior.
Wait. You guys are Nazis.
Nine, we're not.
Yes, you are.
This is why I'm telling you that MGTOW is not this harmless group that should just be left alone. It's not what it is. And if you do identify with this MGTOW movement, then I encourage you to seek professional help and find the root of this hatred you have for women. You know, just because you had a bad experience with some girls doesn't mean that all girls are the same. Some people fuck you over, but that doesn't mean hate an entire group of people as a result. You meet a couple bad people, you have a bad experience, but then you grow up and move on. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you giving me the time of day. I've been watching a lot of these videos for a couple weeks, and I kind of just wanted to share my thoughts on like all this crazy stuff. Because it's crazy, right? I had heard the term red pill like jokingly before, but I never realized how delusional these guys were. You know, it sounded so far-fetched that I always just viewed it as like a joke. I never actually looked into it. Now that I have looked into it, oh my god, this is crazy. Anyways, I don't know what's next, honestly. I imagine the majority of viewers here are gonna be MGTOWs themselves. So I guess the next move would be a response video or like a follow-up video. Who knows, dude? No matter what though, take care of each other, buds. Hey, okay, so one last thing. So I'm going through YouTube right now, and it looks like Think Before You Sleep took down one of the videos I was talking about. I guess I'm the only person with like a copy of that video now, and I guess it's a good thing that it's not on the platform anymore. Seeing less of these MGTOW videos is always a plus, but I just wanted to mention it's not there anymore. I don't know if it was removed by YouTube or by him. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, if that's what you're thinking. And I just wanted to share that. Okay, bye.